welcome to another video on this damn thing. I'm back, floor's clean, it's been degreased and mopped up, so I'm just going to get this out and then get this up and then right, so we're all clear now, car's up in the air, we've got our filter there, gasket, O-rings, and we've got oil. I've got a couple of litres of this over there as well, so I should have enough oil. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to see if that's sorted. Now I've been looking on the internet as usual, and to be honest I'm not sure this is the issue anymore. I think it might be something to do with the fuel injection pump, because looking at it, everybody else who's worked on it has been looking at fueling issues, extra fuel pump, new fuel pump in the tank, new fuel lines, so they've been looking at fueling issues, and I think they've been looking in the wrong place. I think it's the fuel injection pump that's causing the problem. Now you can adjust how much fuel it's putting in. So we'll put it on diagnostics a bit later after I've done this, and we'll do that as well. That might be for another video, but first let's get this installed. Alright then, I hope you can see this because my cameraman's at school. There's the valve block from the gearbox. Here is the new filter. Try not to drop this in the bucket. You've got a couple of O-rings. Small O-ring goes on that section there. Like that. And then the bigger O-ring which is stuck in a tape goes round that bit there. And then the pickup sits on there, so I'll just get the bolts. We'll put a little bit of oil around the O-rings to make sure they push in. There's the pickup, so that's the one that goes over that O-ring. So I'll put a bit of oil, I have one massive pot of oil here, just around there, and pop that on there. And that's how that one goes. And I believe this one's the lung bolt. And that there goes into this hole here. We've got the two, one in the corner there, and one there. Make sure that's pushed in nicely. And we'll tighten that up. I'm hoping that the sump will go on here, because obviously, as you saw last time, we couldn't get it off with this lift away. So hopefully it will go on there. But when this pickup's on, you struggle to get it over the top. C25, make sure it's seated. Which it feels like it is. That's them two. Next thing is the sump. Which is here. Now I don't know if this is going to go on, but let's give it a go. It just doesn't like going past that bit there. Should have been missing on the gasket now. Okay. That's going to sit there. Then we've got these that hold the sump on. We've got two corner ones and two straight ones. That's a corner one there. That's sort of straight. Obviously there should be two more corner ones, but somebody snapped them off. Oh, the gaskets come out of place. Gasket just sits over this lip on here. I mean, like I said, I don't think this is going to solve the issue, to be honest. Now I've looked into it more. I'm going to have to get some diagnostics on it, which we should have done in the first place. When we've got diagnostics, why we're not putting them on, I think anybody's guess. But that's the way it is. So, I get this up and into position. Like that. It's a weird one, really, that the bolts don't just go through the pan like on pretty much any other pan. I'm held on with these weird clips. Which are a bit of a nightmare to get on and start. I'm trying one of the corner ones instead. Less of an angle. Okay, that one's starting. Let's try this one. And that one's going. Put on this side. Should sort of hold it in position while I try and get this one in, and then we can tighten them up. Hopefully, well, leave from the two broken ones at the moment. We will come back and get them out, but I'm just trying to solve the problems. I am spending time getting them bolts out. It's unfixable. So now we need a 10mm. For these. I will just try, do them up even there. I mean, as long as everything comes out okay, it's a relatively simple job. I mean, they could have snapped them to one time, you know. Never really thought about that and not getting them out. and the drain plug as well. I meant to get a copper washer. I completely forgot. But that ain't a problem, I can sort that out. There we go. We don't want to snap them off. So, we've tightened that with the 17. Make sure it's tight. There we go. Now we've got this to go back on. Which I would say some sort of oil return pipe. Maybe from the cooler or something like that. Oh, there we go. Adjustable to tighten that one up. You can see this a lot keeps turning around. Okay, so it's all back together. What we're going to do now is drop the car down, fill it up, and take you for a test drive. So here we go. You fill this with a dipstick tube, this one, it's an Holden, so there's no fill point on the gearbox itself, on your drain. So normally you would check it when the fluid comes out. With this one it has got a dipstick, and on the dipstick there's two holes there. You can probably see it's out of focus, but there's two holes there. We want to be towards the top hole, but not over. Tube, the hole's just down the side of there next to the dipstick for the engine oil. So we've got a couple of little ones I will pour in first before I get handy with a big jug. I might need a stove for this job. And you've got to check the gearbox oil once you've started the car. So start the car up, go through the gears, first, second, third, reverse drive, and then check the oil. But as you've seen, there was a fair whack to come out. Probably the right amount, so it wasn't low, but we did top it up, like I said, with a litre of fresh oil, so it was relatively low. Trying to get closer. Wasn't sticking me on. They're out. Right up. Runs really well. So I've got the gear stick here. I'm going to go through park, reverse, neutral, manual. All we do, handbrake's on, we'll just go into reverse. There's no notchiness on the gearbox, you can hear it changing. Back to neutral, drive, third, second, first. And with my foot, I'm going to take my foot off the brake. Actually, I'll give it a bit of a rev in each gear. Try to move there, just put my foot off the brake. Handbrake's on now. So it's all 5 litres out of that tub, plus half a litre, maybe out of the tub. I'm registering just above low now, so I'm going to put a little bit more in. I'm just going to get 250ml at a time, because as you can see, a litre has jumped that from absolutely nothing all the way up to just above the low limit, so I'll go a bit at a time. Right, I'll put another 250ml in and now it's bang on, so that just shows that it's it doesn't take a lot from the smallest to the top. If I could say it one more time, I'm going to punch myself in the face. It don't take a lot from the bottom mark to the top mark to fill in. So there you go. We'll put that back in. And then we'll go for a little test drive and we'll see if it makes any difference to what's happening. And you haven't seen this drive yet, so you can see what's happening for yourself if it hasn't worked. We'll just take it around the car park, over the road, a couple of laps. We'll know straight away, to be honest, because if it's got no power, it won't even reverse up the curb to get out. So I'll set you up actually and see if you can see it reverse up the curb or not. We'll get it out. Well, I will tell you that straight off the bat that's got way more power, just off the reverse, so we'll take you in the car and see. Let's see what we've got. Bounce, bounce. So far so good, that's pretty good compared to how it has been, but it tends to get worse the hotter it gets, the more it warms up the worse it gets. So let's see what I'm getting out of this. Hold it there, okay. Normally that was with like quarter throttle, normally it's half throttle to go, something like that. But you know how it is, the placebo effect, doing something to it sometimes makes it feel better when it's definitely not. But I feel like it's better. Definitely got a bit of pickup now. Definitely got a bit of pickup. So we'll do a few laps of the car park. This is doing my nutting. We're gonna have to fix that. That's somebody's had the dash out previously probably. I'm doing the wrong way around this car park. So I should have turned in on the first one. So I'm gonna turn around in this parking spot here. That'll give me a chance to put it in reverse. Let's have a look. I mean, the acid test is reversing up a curb. I mean, it seems to have power again. I don't know whether you can see the speed I'm sort of getting up from takeoff. Let's see what happens if I put my foot down. I mean, I could have my foot to the floor before and it was getting nowhere. I could have walked past the car while it was driving with my foot to the floor. But now, we obviously have got something. But let's keep going round just to make sure it ain't a fluke. We want to make sure that we ain't celebrating too early. I mean, these are well known for having no power whatsoever. And the one I've had previously, I had one about 7 or 8 years ago. Same DSE, newer model. It was R-Ridge, so not much newer, 2 years. And that had got no power whatsoever, and it had got a power box fitted to it, which the seller told us this had got fitted to it. We never checked, so we believe. Oh shit! That's mainly falling over. So, proper good news. I'm pretty confident that's fixed. Until we get a good ride in it, do some distance in it, it's difficult to say 100%, but it's a completely different car from what it was yesterday before we dropped the sump. Like I say, foot to the floor, you could walk past the car. It wouldn't go anywhere. It took a good minute with your foot to the floor for it to start to build up some power and then start to move, which was obviously oil problem in the torque converter. It'd be nice to just drop the oil again so we can get pretty, do a double change so we can get most of the oil out of it. But that's another one that's running like it should. Now we've just got to fix a few cosmetic problems. I've noticed the passenger door doesn't open off the key. We thought it did, but when you press it, it doesn't. Or doesn't lock. One of the two. It doesn't lock on the passenger. All the rest of them work. Are we going to get the headliner done? We don't know whether to cover this one or paint it. It would be nice to paint it in the same colour that it is. Also, the sunroof cover has gone. We're going to treat the seat and dye the leather on there because it's not ripped. It's just sort of worn a little. And then we're going to get underneath. We're going to paint scrape it all down, treat it and paint it, and then we are going to change the diff oil, maybe the transfer box oil, because odds have never been done. We'll do a service on it. We'll change the engine oil and the filter because the filter is black. So this car was looked after up to a certain point and then it wasn't. But we've painted this grille. We've just got to get some lacquer so we can lacquer the grille, but we want 2K so we can polish it. And then we're going to cosmetically get the car done. We're going to paint these wheels. What do you think? Should we paint these wheels back original silver wheel paint, or should we leave them gangster black? I think silver for this car. But that chap seems genuinely interested in it. A bit gangstered. So, like and subscribe, please. 1,000 subscribers, brilliant. If we can get more, it's better for us. Even if we're not getting paid for these videos, at least we know people are enjoying them and we're doing them for ourselves as well as you, just because we like to do it. So, like and subscribe. We have got a Patrons. I'll put that in the link below. Comment below on the wheels, what do you think of the colour and what you think of what we've done to it so far.